sending out surveys by email, you need to spend some time and efforts in building a high-quality respondent list. Technically speaking, then the respondent list only requires an email, but you would often also add first name, last name, and maybe language. But the show doesn't stop here. You can add tons of variables if it makes sense to your survey project. A variable is a characteristic of the individual or organization that you're surveying. To help you sort out how to build your respondent list and what data to include, this video will guide you through the following steps. 1. Who should be included in your respondent list? 2. Data sources. 3. What data should you include? And 4th, how to modify, verify, and clean up your data. To build an effective respondent list, you need to have a clear understanding of your target population. This is the group of people or organizations that you're trying to understand through your survey. Your target population, depending on the survey you're going to conduct, might be your entire customer base, a subset of your employees, or a specific consumer group. Once you have identified your target population, you need to build a respondent list that accurately represents the target population. In many cases, your respondent list equals your target population. An example is an employee engagement survey where you want to send out the survey to all your employees. In other cases, often research-based, it's not possible to send out surveys to the whole target population. Instead here, you need to make a sample of your target population and send your survey out to them. Here, it's important that you think about your sampling method, size, and plan to ensure representativeness. To build a solid respondent list, you should identify potential data sources available to you. It could be your HRM or CRM system, a specific mailing list, or even a panel. Remember, if you're going to use any purchased or rented lists, you have to obtain permission from the individuals before you send out a survey to them. You do this in order to prevent any legal or ethical issues. When deciding on what data you should include in your respondent list, it's important that you go beyond just the data that you have available. Instead, you should consider what demographic, geographic, or even behavioral characteristics that you need. These considerations should be based on what you're going to use in the survey. So, for example, are you going to use any merge fields? Are you going to do any survey routing? Do you want to make specific reports? And most importantly, what is your survey goal? For example, if you have a hypothesis that age group will have an influence on your results, remember to include age group in your respondent list. Once you have identified the data you'll need, check your data sources and see if they hold this information. If not, you can add the variables as questions to the survey. Unless your data sources are a total mess or heavily outdated, it's always better to add data as background variables instead of questions in the survey, because you know the respondent's time is valuable. However, don't overload your respondent list with data in the fear of missing out. Too much data can easily become overwhelming, so instead focus on the data that you need. In Enalyzer, once you have uploaded your data to the system, you're not locked. You can always update your background variables or add new ones later on in the survey process if you find out that you're missing something. To help you get started, here are some examples of background variables that you can add to your customer or employee survey. For customer surveys, we recommend that you add background variables such as account manager, a customer earnings indicator, specific segments or classifications of customers that are relevant to your industry. If it's B2C, then you should add some demographic background variables. If it's B2B, on the other hand, you should add relevant organizational data. For employee surveys, on the other hand, we recommend that you add variables such as the organizational hierarchy. That could be organizational unit, department, a team, the employee's manager, gender, seniority, and also age group or generation. You should also add if the employee is a manager or not, and maybe the managerial level that they're on. And you can also add specific employee classifications that are relevant to your industry. Before sending out your survey, make sure to clean and verify your respondent list. You should start by removing any duplicates, fill out any missing information, check if information is true, and also check if the contact information, for example, email, is up to date. Also, make sure you have consistent and accurate data. Let's say that you have added account manager in your background information, and then you both spell the account manager with and without their middle name. Then you have multiple values of basically the same person. So remember to clean this up so that you have consistent report results. After having cleaned and verified your data, you can start making modifications. This will help you when you need to draw conclusions later on. For example, let's say you're interested in something about ages. It doesn't really make sense to look into what all 32-year-olds are into. Instead, you should group ages together so that you, for example, have age groups or generations. Then you can suddenly say something about, for example, millennials. Ensuring that your respondent list is accurate and up-to-date is crucial for obtaining meaningful survey results. And even though it might not be the primary goal of your survey, you also get the chance to clean up your databases.